guys, welcome to Driving with John in GTA. Today we're going to do some races. Otherwise, we're going to drive with John in GTA. Oop, let's adjust the mic a little bit. How about, I don't have a little muff over my microphone. And I don't have one of those little pop filter things, so if I breathe too hard through my nose, or if I laugh and the air hits the mic, it's all bad. We'll fix that at some point. Anyway, on with the show. We're gonna do a series of races that I made called Rant Randomness. That's the playlist. These are... some of it's just kind of my stuff, and then a couple of them, the two races at the end, the sort of extreme kind of, and death, they're inspired by races I saw the Achievement Hunter guys play in their GTA 5 Extreme video. So the first race we're going to do is called Duke It Out. And that one is, I guess, in my Let's Play GTA with John 40, I think, 30 down or 40, I think it's 40. I made that race, so it kind of has been seen before. My Gymkhana 7 tribute, if you haven't seen Gymkhana 7 from Ken Block, if you like cars, it's really cool. 845, 850 horse, 65 Mustang all-wheel drive, so basically, I mean, the only thing 65 Mustang there is kind of sort of the body lines-ish. Like the roof. That thing is beyond custom. Anyway, another one called My City, which is kind of a spiritual successor to my own race called Alley Cat. It's just kind of little back ways through the section of the city down by the beach. Then we get to sort of extreme kind of, which is some jumps over it's just some big jumps. And then Death, which is very similar to the one at the end of the Rooster Teeth video, the Achievement Hunter GTA 5 Extreme, where they were at the observatory on motorcycles going up the big ramp and then have to land in a certain place. It's similar to that, and it's so similar, it's almost the same. So we're going to jump into this and try to get through it. This might be a two-parter. Probably should keep my videos shorter. It might be one part. We shall see. You'll find out. Super noon clear. Oh yeah, everything's how I want it. The radio station. We're gonna turn it off. I have a feeling if I would have pressed like left instead of right, it would have went off. Yes, I want to launch this job on my own, because the only buddy I play this game with plays on PS3, and I have a PS3, and I play with him online, and every time I play with him, I say, hey, you should get a PS4. If he got a PS4, I would even buy him a headset, so he could play with me online and we could make videos together. I said buy him a headset because the little earbud microphone combo thing that comes with the PlayStation 4, it sucks. It sucks really hard. If you want it, I mean, the sound isn't horrible, you know, because it's just like voice coming out of the little speaker. But if you want to know how bad that microphone sucks, go watch it. Like my first 2-3 videos. Yeah, it's bad. You can barely hear me. One thing, I know I have my TV turned down right now, but I do remember in the last couple of videos I made in GTA, it was difficult, kind of difficult to hear me, so if you guys will allow it. I might go into my settings and change the sound a little bit. Get the music off. I hope no music shows up because I don't want my video to get taken down. Okay. So apparently the back button, which it takes you out of the menus there, also does the camera like it's not in start, like it's not in pause. That was kind of weird. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better now. I had been playing quite a bit without making videos for a while, and I turned the sound back up to where it was easier to hear. Not quite dialed in for what we're doing here. This race would probably be a lot more fun in a different car. Like a muscle car probably would be probably, or the Dukes. I mean, the Duke It Out thing was a reference. I was kind of thinking of Dukes of Hazzard, the old TV show, not the newer movies or anything, when I made this, because it's kind of a mixture of dirt roads and asphalt and kind of all over the place. Sometimes I think I make my races too long. Like, the whole route should be split up over 2 races. Or maybe I should do lap races, but I don't know. I like point-to-point races. I always have. Like the original Need for Speed had point-to-point races, and I loved it. I didn't start with Need for Speed 1 though. I started with Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. And that was I don't know if there were console ports of it, but I had it on PC back in, oh my gosh, what was that, 95, 96, forever ago? Loved, absolutely loved that game. Played it so much. I played it with a Microsoft Flight joystick, and I kind of, I mean, it's the same thing as I'm doing now. Like, I'm steering with a thumbstick. It was just my whole hand would grab the joystick to do everything. I did have, you know, the throttle was pushed forward, the brake was pulled back. But my gosh, I set some crazy good lap times. That last, the last hidden track, what, I think Empire City, I think it was. Man, I had it to where you could, or not you, like there's a section near the end of the lap where you're kind of going under an elevated, you're on the road, and it's a split road under an elevated railway, and the pillars come down every now and then. And I had that, like, this path through the pillars. It was just so quick to get through it all. Really liked that game. I liked it. Probably my favorite car in that game was the Corvette. It just handled so good. Probably a lot better than a real Corvette. My favorite downloaded car for that game, because that was the first game I ever, like, got mods for and went in and messed with. And I haven't done it much since I kind of got out of PC gaming. I'll tell you why in a second. Yeah, but yeah, I had a McLaren F1 downloaded in that game, and it had a full interior and everything. It was really cool, you know, especially for back in that time. Well, that was a bit excessive on the e-brake there. Anyway, so I mean, it was, you know, it sounded like a McLaren, it looked like a McLaren, but the physics were wrong. It was too slow. It had about the same speed as the Lamborghini in the game. I guess it was a Diablo in the game. So I found mods where I could go in and mess with the car's characteristics, or all the I guess the physics for it. Because I mean, I could make the cars do. Oop, I'm not looking where I'm going. I can make the cars go thousands of miles per hour, just crazy stuff, and have unlimited grip, and you could do whatever, and you know, because it was in the game files, so I could just change. I could change whatever I wanted. Anyway, so I made the car as accurate as I figured it could be, based off of you know, car reviews and such. And I just drove it for hours and hours and hours. I played that game so much, my parents were worried that when I did start driving, and you gotta think, I mean, I was, let's say, 10, 11, 12. So, you know, my brother was starting to drive. He's a few years older than me. So they were worried, like, I played that so much, they were worried that when I started driving, if the cops came after me, I would actually run. I was like, no, I'm not stupid. It's just a video game. Calm down, guys. No. I remembered that run as I got to it, right here. This isn't, I mean, obviously that Gymkhana movie, it looks like a continuous run, but it's not. You know, they, oh, I messed that up. You better than that. They, filmed sections of it at a time, you know, one day here, one day there, and I can slide around that. I've done it before. Oh well, we're gonna move on. And then obviously this game, jeez, forgot about those tents. But this game's not an accurate representation of Los Angeles. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's an homage, but it's not accurate. So I can't really do the same kind of path that Ken Block takes through LA. But I found some of the elements that they did and tried to mix them into this race. Oop. Kinda crunched my front end there. Oh, it was just dumb. I could have stayed high and still got the checkpoint. What was I going to tell you guys? Oh yeah, why I got out of PC gaming. So, I guess it just didn't click for me, or I didn't really understand. But I remember we would get games back in the late 90s, and they wouldn't work. You know, the computer wouldn't play it for whatever reason. And I mean, there were times like my dad would have like take off work early, probably not for a video game, but take off work early and have to come home and call IT and figure out, you know, all these different things you can do to get games to just play, or not games, sorry, programs to just work properly. I think one of the flight simulators he had to come home early and figure out. But I mean, you had so much problem getting this stuff to play or work, sorry. And some of my buddies were like, well, we'll run this command and that command and this problem, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, I guess I got into it too late, because that's probably what it was. I got into it too late because all my buddies were so much further than me that there was just no way I was going to catch up to them. And I mean, now you have stuff like Steam, you can just go in there and buy. you still have like the whole thing with if you're gonna play online, you want to mod stuff. I mean, or not online. Sorry, if you play on PC, you're gonna mod the games. Why in the world wouldn't you? So then all of a sudden you just open the Pandora's box of knowledge that you have to be able to do these things properly. And I mean, don't uh-oh. Well, that's not where I need to be. This will work for me. I guess I just didn't have the want to, because I mean, there were so many things going on. Had I don't remember what all, but there was just stuff happening. I didn't have time to learn all that. I'm kind of laughing at myself here. Obviously, I very well could have, but it just seemed like such a pain in the ass I didn't do it. And for some reason around, I don't know why, but in this race, for the finish line, it gave me a little round finish line like you get when you do an air race. I don't know. Yawn. So far for a playlist called Ramp Randomness, there haven't really been any ramps. Yup. Hopefully we'll make up for it though. What's this one? My City? No, we'll run sport. We'll run sport. We'll get through it. Oh, I don't drive my LG enough anymore. I know, I mean, I'm sure somebody might watch this and laugh at me and say, you know, PC Master Race, it's easy to do all this stuff, but go. I guess you can only have so many things going on because I'm a decent mechanic, I guess. I'm a pretty good mechanic. I can do most things I need to do. Whenever an appliance breaks in my house, I take it apart and fix it. Whenever my cars break or whatever, I fix them. So I learned how to do all that. I don't know. I guess in a way, I kind of feel, or the reason I'm explaining all this is I kind of feel like I should have learned more about computers and more about how things work, coding and saying things. I feel for the type of person I am, I could have probably got a job more in line with what I want to do. Or not, maybe not even necessarily what I want to do, but the atmosphere and the culture I want to work in. I think. I don't know. I have a good job right now. I'm an analyst. I like it. I mess with spreadsheets all day. And I get random people showing up at my office freaked out, all red-faced, asking me if I know how to do VLOOKUPs. These crazy things called VLOOKUPs. And I say things like, yeah, that's easy. I mean, you know, but just send me a spreadsheet, I'll do it. Yeah, I had a guy show up at my office today, wanted to do a VLOOKUP, and he wanted me to teach him. I was like, okay, cool, because I'm all about teaching somebody something. And I'm just using this as an example. VLOOKUP is a very, very easy thing to do. But if you don't know, you don't know, though. So he was wanting me to teach him. I said, cool, yeah, I'll happily teach you. And so I go out to his desk and sit down there, and I'm going to show him or have him walk his way through it. And he shows me this, oh crap, he shows me this massive list of all these events that happened. And he wants to put, I'm not going to give too much information about what I do. I work for a trucking company. But he wants me to put the truck numbers and fleet numbers beside these events. And I said, well, do you have a list? You know, he had names. And I said, do you have a list of the, you know, the names that correspond with the truck and fleet? And he said, well, no, I don't. I just need to, I have this list of names. I need to do a VLOOKUP and get all this other information. And I said, well, you know, so I know you don't know how to do this, but that information has to come from somewhere. So we get me, you get half your list basically. You have half the knock list. Get me the other half, and I can figure it out for you. Show you how to do it. Oh, unfortunately, people just want you to be able to do things. You know, if you don't know anything about it, people expect you to be able to. If the other person doesn't know anything about it, they expect you to just be able to just do it with like no problem because somebody else can do it. Well, somebody else that typically does it and who is out of work and being the reason that I would have been asked, that person probably has the list of all the names and their truck numbers and everything, or at least knows where to find it. I didn't know where to find it. It's not something I do. And it's not even that. If I know where I can possibly find it, I'll go look for it. But the way our system is, let me rephrase. The amount of reports our system can pull, and from different places that you have to go to pull these different reports, there's no possible way I could have found it within the workday. I have no doubt I could have found it in time. Go! Stop! Go again. I didn't need to hit the brake there. There was a ramp right there. And boxcars there. I'm thinking of the Let's Play video that the Rooster Teeth guys, Achievement Hunter, or whatever, what they did. Oh man, really? I didn't clear it? That's kind of crappy. If I was going full bore and I kind of wasn't on the throttle full out there, it would have cleared it. But I need to make that ramp. I need to go back and change it to where it doesn't put you as high and gets you more distance. I'm still working on the stacking ramps thing. I can make them pretty smooth now, but I tend to make them too steep too quickly, I guess. So they'll pop you way up in the air, but you don't get the distance that you need. I was watching that Let's Play Extreme that I've referenced many times here, and I think that guy, whoever built that race, did really good with the ramps, because the ramps are actually not very big, but they get so much air off of them. They're good ramps. Mine are not as good. And this race is obviously different. It has a few of the same elements from that race they did, but I didn't want to do the whole thing ramping up. Basically, in that other race, they ramp up onto that bridge that's in front of me here, and then there's another ramp that comes off the bridge. I just, quite frankly, I didn't want to mess with that. It'd be too... It wouldn't be too much. I was about to say it'd be too much. It wouldn't be too much. It's just, I didn't want to mess with it. I have trouble with some concrete there. Now, I wanted to make it to where I didn't have to use boost, but I'm gonna have to use boost. There's kind of no way around it. See, this ramp's huge, and the ramp that guy made for the other race, it barely it was barely taller than the boat. Like, it didn't have to be very tall. Just a really good ramp. Uh-oh. Forgot about that massive pillar being there. And then I saw it and it was too late. That checkpoint's kind of hidden by that tree. Hard to see. So, I always talk about random stuff when I do these. I have a pit bull. She's the best dog ever. Couldn't ask for a better dog. Yay! But her farts really, really stink. As would anyone's farts who is naked. Because there's no clothes there to filter out some of the poo particles. So when the dog farts, it's just poo air floating around. So that stinks. And then I have a 1-year-old son who, being a 1-year-old, poops his pants. So anymore in my house, it's just like you just get a whiff of crap every now and then, and you're like, which one of you guys? You're like, oh wait, that's from the last time? And okay. Sometimes, hey baby. My dog's name is Baby. Sometimes sometimes after changing my son's diaper, like, his room just smells like turds for a couple hours. Hi, doggy. Was I talking about you? She's just looking at me like, what? What are you talking? Shut up, I'm sleeping. Forgot I had this custom bike. Oh man, I was driving through the next city over. The city I live in is kind of the small city where everybody lives, and then the next city over is where everybody works. But I was driving through the next city over, the bigger city, and I went past the Yamaha dealership, and they had a bike in there in the front window that I want. Am I gonna make it? Not even close. Who's Yamaha's rider? I can't ever think of his name. I always want to call out Mercedes Formula 1 driver Nico Rosberg whenever I want to think of this guy. And I don't know why, because his name's not Nico. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. I did this earlier. I just can't remember Yamaha's very, very famous. Oh man. Oh wow, that's actually pretty good there. That's gonna bug me. Really, really bad. Okay, I thought I was gonna survive that for a second there. I was gonna run over to the pool and jump in. Holy crap, that's never happened. That'll dead you. Unfortunately, when I made this race, I practiced it on an Akuma that was stock. So, it's obviously very possible. Okay, so I will need to boost. What's that guy's name? And why can't I remember it? That's very frustrating. I love MotoGP. I've been watching the guy's whole freaking career. There we go. That'll be it. Right there. Boom. Got it. Cool. You can ramp further than that. It's just about doing the right distance. Where's my phone? I need to look up that guy's name. Anyway, let's get back to the point of this story. The racing colors this year, or the anniversary colors, is like yellow and then a black and white kind of stripy thing, and then black on the bottom. And they had one of the in the front window of the Yamaha place, they had the 1000cc bike, and holy crap, it's good looking. I wanted it so bad, but not gonna go drop 17 grand on a motorcycle that gets ridden 2,000 miles a year. Already dropped almost that much on my very low mile Mustang that's sitting out in the garage that gets driven none at all. I bought, and you can see it on social media, so it's not like it's a secret or anything, I bought a 2004 Mach 1. Has 38,000 miles on it. And I plan to keep it, low miles and stuff like that. Because if people tell me like it won't be valuable, or it won't be this, or won't be whatever, here's the thing about stuff. And the reason people will tell me the car won't be valuable, and I hear people like say the 0304 Cobras won't be valuable, and their thinking is because that hurt. Because cars came out, it's not like that was the end of the era, like 1970 was kind of the end. It's not like 0304 was the end of the era. It was kind of, they were still getting going on the horsepower. What in the oh wow, geez, I saw a light moving on my ceiling. There's one of the balloons from my son's party's moving around with the heat blowing on it. It's flopping around there. Anyway, so what good does a 390 horsepower car, or what value does it have, I guess, when there's now 700 horsepower Hellcats and 662 horsepower Mustang GT 500s, and the GT 350 makes what, 526. What's a 390 horsepower Cobra? What's the point? Like, who cares? The thing is, I only hear that from older people and from younger people than me. And my rebuttal is always this: you want the car that was cool when you were in high school. That's what a lot of people did. And that's what a lot of people wanted. Did people who wanted that 55, 57 or had that 55, 57 Chevy in high school, did they want that 69 Mustang? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe they went after that 55 to 57 Chevy, that shoebox. The thing is, you want what you want, and someone else out there will always want what you want too. So everyone who's taken one of these 0304 Cobras and modded the living piss out of them and basically ruined them, a ton of them have been wrecked, what they're doing is making the ones that remain more valuable later on for the people that want them. I will have an 0304 Cobra. I want one. I will have one. I wanted a Mach 1. I got one. It might be a few years before I can get a Cobra, and I will probably pay Hopefully not too much more than they're worth right now. I don't think the values will really go up for another 10, 15 years maybe. But I'm falling. But that's it. Like, for me, and I didn't ever think this would happen, but for me, when I think about like the cars I want, what do I want? I want a Silverado SS. A buddy of mine had one back in high school, right after high school. Are there faster trucks now? Yeah, but I don't want it because it's a faster truck, faster truck, whatever. I like the Silverado SS because, well, one, you can get it in all-wheel drive or two-wheel drive, whatever. It's got a good motor. It's a good size truck. That's another point we're going to get into. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get into it in next week's video. I think this week's video needs to be done. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this one off and start in on next week's video, so my rant can be there. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It was fun to make. Hope it's fun to watch. Hit that like button, subscribe, come back for more. Hopefully we'll be cranking these out for a while.